It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
This time, Sudanese coach is actually daring the Genetro-led Super Eagles ahead of the AFCON, Nations Cup that will be coming up in some few weeks right there in Cameroon. They are saying that Nigeria should just watch out because they are really coming hard on the Nigerian Super Eagles. Also, I think Nigeria in the ongoing world weightlifting and actually doing the nation proud. They have actually won a total of 6 medals right there in Uzbekistan, and also they're getting to ensure that they get to do the nation proud. Also, we're looking at what is really happening in the world of the Europa League. We saw Leicester City, crashing out yesterday, and they actually lost against Napoli, despite the fact that Victor Osimhen was not in that particular game. This is how we welcome you to yet another edition of Sport Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and I'll be your host for today. As you can see, Sally Postman Alpha standing by at the Talk Sport this beautiful Friday. How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
Of course, Alpha, pleasure. How are you doing? Thank God it's Friday. Of course, thank God it's Friday. Quickly at this point in time, we head straight to the news coming from the Sudanese coach talking about how bad Veldon has sent his warning signal to the Super Eagles of Nigeria that they should beware of the Sudanese team when the AFCON actually gets on the way right there in Cameroon. You know that the AFCON will be starting in the first or second week of January 2022, and Nigeria is being grouped alongside Sudan, Egypt, and Guinea-Bissau. And at this point in time, that's in Group D. And their coach is saying that Super Eagles, watch it. We are coming. If Central African Republic can come to Nigeria and beat you guys in Nigeria, then when you play in Cameroon, ensure that you might just get a whipping of your life from the Sudanese team. Salifu, quickly, let's get a reaction. Is he trying to play a mind game at this point in time, or is he just trying to test the waters?
He's not playing mind game. He's playing what his intention. He sounds so confident about the chance of his team. Remember that don't forget that they are presently competing at Arab nations, and them and Egypt. So maybe I'm looking at the performance of their team. I'm hoping that with that performance they can get on Nigeria. I'm not forgetting, just like you say, if the Central Africans can come here and then they can also struggle against the game. So why can Sudan not deal? Well, it's not their fault. I believe that what they really has reduced our team to the level. What if not is Sudan? On the top of the giant of the Super Eagles. But even as it is, just like we were saying yesterday, we still have a player, we have the squad that can compete in this AFCON, and I don't think I advise the Sudanese coaching as much as I'm not a Super Eagles that you should just concentrate on this team. Don't mind what is happening in the Super Eagles, because Super Eagles are still a team to beat.
Of course, Alpha, looking at the campaign at the Arab Cup, they lost their first match to Algeria 4-0. Egypt, defeat them 5-0. They now lost, their last match against Lebanon. They lost that match 1-0. And the coach is still actually coming out to talk tough on Genetro-led. Don't see
like Salifu rightly stated. I mean, if a Central African Republic can beat Nigeria, it means we are becoming the whipping boys in Africa. I mean, because for him to be confident in saying, Yeah, of course, Sudan has all it takes to beat the Super Eagles. Maybe there's a few things you have seen. He feels, just like Self rightly said, we have the players, but of course, in football, organization is important. The quality of your technical crew is important. Sometimes you might have all the necessary players, but a team that is not even as technically gifted as you, for the fact that they are more organized and have a better coach, might create an upset. So, but we'll still put it as, sort of playing mind games here and there. These things happen in football very often, where a team who that
But you lost 5-0, you lost 4-0.
It doesn't
You lost
matter.
1-0.
No, it doesn't still
And you're
matter.
still coming out to say Nigeria
No,
should
it still doesn't matter. You won't compare the Arab Cup with the AFCON. As long, whether we like it or not,
So
the Arab Cup
so
is more of, it's like a tune-up. It's not. It's more of like a little bit more serious than a friendly match. That's the truth of the matter. You won't, even the winner of, even if, for example, if Egypt wins the Arab Cup, for example, they won't celebrate it as much as if they win the AFCON.
Of course.
So it's still a tune-up match, of course, just to get them ready. And it's even good that they even went for that competition, so at least be able to test their players, see where they need to, tweak one or two things, if the case may be. So I still think it's still mind games. And when we get to the field of play, of course, the boys will do the talking on the pitch.
According to Sudanese coach, he said, I trust my team will perform better during the AFCON in Cameroon. We are going to prepare well and also welcome back some players who have been out injured. That's what the coach is actually saying. But if a certain Madagascar can actually defeat us in the group stage of the AFCON right there in 2019 in Egypt, so I wonder what Sudan will actually be bringing on the table when they get to play the Nigerian Super Eagles. We'll wait and see how he gets to pass.
Sorry, looking at head to head, I don't think Sudan has a better side than Nigeria before. So even though whatever he's saying, no matter how we are strong at home, whatever is our situation at home, I don't think Sudan should stand a chance to say that who is Nigeria. And although just like that rightly point, our biggest problem at the moment is the organization. Because we have country week away, up to today we don't even know what is our program like. We don't even know who is our coach. Either Roy is still leading the team or not.
Well, according to rumors, they have said Roy should actually go to.
According to rumors, there's no official statement.
Of course.
And these are the part of the situation in this country. The NFF, just like the NFF, they are just playing hiding trick. They have yet to come out. They should come out with a clear hand and tell Nigeria what is the story situation. There's nothing wrong. Okay, if we can't. They come clear and tell Nigeria say we can't sack the level from now. This and because of this. Nigeria will understand, but not just as if Nigeria doesn't matter to know what is the true situation or what is happening in the team. And if you are talking, AFCON is just 3 weeks or 4 weeks, maximum of 4 weeks away. 4 weeks away, exactly. But up to now, what is our program? When are the team going to come?
Where are we even camping?
Where are we even camping? There's nothing of choice.
When are the players supposed to resume to come? Of course, we'll wait and see if these a particular football administrator talking about the NFF, if they will be actually be capable of getting to ensure that the Super Eagles win their fourth AFCON title right there in Cameroon. We'll wait and see how it's going to pan out in that particular one. Still talking about the Nigerian Super Eagles, where Coach Genetro is saying that he wants to actually convert Moses Simon to a defender at this point in time ahead of the AFCON. And for me, looking at Moses Simon, we know he plays for Nantes and has been impressive for his club, no doubt about it, in this season and even the last season. And they're saying he's versatile. He can play from the back, he can play wing back, he can play right half at this point in time. But looking at Victor Moses Simon, do you actually see him, getting to play a right full back for Nigeria? I'm not actually looking at his height, for example. You take a look at his height and all that. Do you think he's the best man to actually play?
For when coaches make this kind of statement, the first question you ask yourself is, are we shortage of personnel in that position? The answer is no. If it was that we were lacking defenders or we were already into the competition and maybe a defender suddenly got an injury, you could accept that. But not even before you get to the competition, a player who is playing his normal role, then you just wake up and say you want to convert him to a defender. So the people who play the right back for us, what happens to them? are you not planning to use them in the competition?
Oh, how do you like to advance him?
Exactly. Shehu is there. So we have quality players on that right back. So what is really the thinking behind it? Do you want to exactly? Do you want to ask those players from the team completely, or what? What was the rationale behind converting a player to a right back position? I think conversion of players most times is what the clubs do, because these players play more in the long term for their clubs. Not you. We have enough personnel in that position that you're bringing and saying that you're converting to. I think that Roche should focus more on seeing how we can create more harmony, create better tactics and strategies on the way to AFCON, and not bog himself down with trying to convert one player from his natural position to another position where he might not even be that effective.
But looking at what Peter said, I really like this player. He has a foolproof mind. That is actually coming from, I know, Raw at this point in time. He's saying he's small, but he has a big heart. He's very talented, technically, physically, with his speed, despite his size. Raw added, with me, he can play right back, and he does. He has a lot of strength to actually pull. That is actually coming from, Coach Kenetro. But sadly, for looking at the comment from Coach Kenetro, do you think it is a good idea, bringing Moses Simon to play a right full back in the AFCON?
Well, it's just unfortunate that the Nigeria Football Federation, the leadership of the Football Federation, don't even want to sign out. That is why, and in the
Why do we be talking about 28 players to the AFCON?
The draw has confirmed again. Put Nigeria right. When Nigeria has said it's not the right manager. If not for good, for crying out loud, what I see, you are bringing Moses Simon to go and play left full back. Right full back. For what? Are you liking that position? We have not less than 5 to 6 players who are competing on that position. So for what reason? For what? We are not liking. You just like to tell me, I'm working.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Let's move forward.
Of course, producer is telling me that we need to go for a short break now. I want to come back. We're talking about the Super Cup that is actually going on in the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. It is the President Cup that have 4 MPFL team currently, battling in the particular one. Kano Pillars are actually started. I think in the game with Sunshine Stars, that game is actually currently going on right there at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Also, I'm going to be looking at Team Nigeria campaign at the World Weightlifting. Also, look at the Europa, matches and what we should expect this weekend from the English Premiership. These and many more will come after the short break.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Welcome from that short break. It's still Sport Orbit right here on the Leadership Up Podcast Studio. We head straight to weightlifting at this point in time, where Team Nigeria continued their impressive run at the World Weightlifting Championship, where the team at this point they have recorded a 6th medal in that particular one. A silver medal just came in this afternoon. It means that the teams are actually cruising in that particular one. That the game is actually going right on in Uzbekistan. And the Nigerian athletes are currently, doing the nation proud. Salifo, we didn't actually, go to the Olympics when it comes to weightlifting because we actually missed out in the qualifiers in the African Championship, and the reason was because with the actually, we lost the president of the Nigerian, weightlifting, federation. That was actually the major blow that why we didn't actually make it to the Olympic. But we saw our campaign at the All African Games in Morocco, and we actually did well. That was where we actually picked up most of our gold medal. But looking at the team at this point in time, can we actually say they are bigger and back, and they're actually better at this point in time?
Yeah, I think if going by what they're doing at the moment at the Uzbekistan, that's to show that the teams are back on track. And in that's why I commend the athletes, and I also want to show some level of give little competitions to the new president of the weightlifting, Abu Ibrahim. Since he came on very little 3 months ago, he has hit the ground. 2 months ago, he has hit the ground running. And he has shown a lot of the enthusiasm to ensure that the team gets back on track. Even how they even hurriedly ensure that they get the team this tournament. It's a big plus for him. And to came to the award, the athlete promised that God assure him that based on what the determination has shown that the committee has shown towards them, they are going to make him disappointed. And if you look at their campaign, so even though they're going to win another medal, I think it's not a disappointment. They can perform well. And how do we build up from here? Yes, I'm calling that the new leadership of the weightlifting should build on this success, because this one is just a qualifier to build on this success. The ultimate goal is to get to the Commonwealth Games next year, and then the ultimate the Paris 2024. So I think that is good, and we should build on this success.
Of course, we should actually build on the success, but looking at the team generally, for me, is a huge, turnaround. For weightlifting generally, where should we go from there? We know that those athletes that have actually won gold medal and silver medal have actually qualified for the Commonwealth Games. But how do we go from here?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's commendable that we've been able to at least win medals, and the other side of winning medal is that we also secure qualification to the Commonwealth, so which is a good thing. So I think from now is to, the year is almost running out already, is to start trying to get the athletes in shape, maybe bring out a proper program of how they are going to start their campaign and all of those things in preparation for the Commonwealth Games. It shouldn't be a situation where it's 2 weeks or 1 week to the game, then we are scrambling all over the place to try to maybe raise funds or assemble the athletes. So I think now that at least these ones have qualified, this is the plan, the time to start preparing for the Commonwealth Games. Because early preparation is key for the success of any competition you're going to. So kudos to them, but I think it's time for the federation to start putting every necessary measure in place to ensure that these athletes are in top shape for the Commonwealth Games.
Of course, sir.
And if I may add one thing that you may see that will likely go on for the weightlifters, it's like it's a departure, almost a departure from the past. Because if you look at the president, he's a very young guy who is 40 and very high age. He was the chairman of FCT Weightlifting Federation. That is where from there he's trying to build on that sort of what he achieved with FCT. I think that is the way to go, giving the sport to those to manage. Sport belong to the youth. Let the old men, the 60, the 40, the 100, the people to allow the young men to manage our sport. Because the young men have the energy and they have the zeal to move forward.
Of course, want to wish the team all the best. That they should ensure that they get to win more medals, so that we can have more athletes, that get to represent the country at the Commonwealth Games. Will be coming up next year in Birmingham. That is talking about United Kingdom. Away from that, we head straight to the news that is happening currently right here in Abuja, where the President Cup is ongoing with 4 Nigerian NPFL team actually jostling for that particular title. The first game actually started at 3 p.m. Nigerian time right here in Abuja, which at this point in time, Kano Killers actually leading Sunshine Stars at 1-0. The game is actually going on currently as we speak. But Alpha, looking at this Super 4, many people are saying it's a good thing, getting to use the Super 4 and reopen the Abuja National Stadium after the regrassing of the pitch.
I think so. I think 2 days ago when we spoke about this competition, when first we got the news. For me, I thought it was a nice one coming from the federal government, because the stadium is now ready, and I feel we shouldn't just wait. It's not a Super Eagles stadium. So don't wait till Super Eagles, their next match home comes up till around March. So don't wait till March before the stadium is put into use. So for games like this is a good thing. It's good to start with this to open up the stadium. And moving forward, I expect to see a situation where some other kind of important competitions, also football events, will also be staged in this place. So I think this is a good one. When you open a stadium like this, it has to be put in use. That's what will bring life to the stadium and all of that. So I think it's a good one. Yes, even though the notice was a short notice, a short competition, but it's still good. You still have these 4 teams who are there at least to tune up for even the NPFL as they are set to resume in which time they are about.
Salifu, how do we encourage Abuja fans and neighboring fans in around the FCT for them to come and watch live game? Because we know the FCT, everybody they actually look very, very serious. They don't have ample time for them to come and relax and watch sporting activities in the nation's capital. What do you think that we can actually do to ensure that we get fans in the stadium to actually watch live games?
Well, I want to disagree with it. I think that Abuja residents don't have time to socialize or to realize that they always do busy. At the moment now, this is the moment is 5 o'clock. Go to all the various parks. You see people coming out after the work to come and relax and socialize. And at the same time, if you go to the package of the stadium now, you see there's a lot of people. Those are not private, you see people, all the various guys relaxing and relaxing. So
them going to relax is different from them coming to watch.
It's part of the part, it's part of trying to take time off on your duty. So if it's a competitive match, it's a new match, people definitely come out to watch. For sure. Okay, I remember 2020. I remember there was a match between Nigeria and Tunisia. There was a stampede at the Abuja National
Stadium. Of course, I've been to that stadium.
There was a stampede.
We couldn't even get exactly.
So this call that this excuse that have always been through by the NFL that Abuja fans don't watch the match. I totally disagree with that. That match, people when they were people pay for their ticket. Not to say it was so open. Unlike when most of the matches that are taken to the middle state level, it's a free. It's a free get free. But for Abuja, it was everybody that came to that stadium pay for their tickets. Some people even could able to get their pack their car.
Exactly.
And there was a struggle. So if the new match, the stadium, I thank God it's still back for life. As far as there's a program for them, people definitely come out to watch the people want to enjoy beautiful.
Exactly.
Of course, Salifu is saying Abuja fans like to watch beautiful football. Because let's hope that the Super Eagles will give them that peace that they really want to see when they eventually get to return to the nation's capital come next year in March. Away from that, we are straight to the news making the runs in Europe at this point in time, where Werder Bremen defender talking about Felix Agu is ready to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles at this point in time. We know that he's now willing to represent after he actually turned down, representing, the country. And I'm just saying, should we actually, because they're playing abroad and they're Nigerian, they must actually come to represent Nigeria. Must we actually
it's not a bad thing in the first place, but it has to be for people who actually want to play. In his own case, he played for the under-21. But moving forward, he saw that his international career would be cut short because he knew that he's not going to break into the German team. So Nigeria is more like a second resort.
There's an Nigerian in the German team.
No doubt about that. That's where I'm going. What I mean is he knows his chances of playing in German team are very slim. So Nigeria is more like a plan B. So he feels okay. For me to advance my international career, if I can't make it to the German team, after all, I have Nigerian roots. Why don't I come back and play for Nigeria? After all, I have a couple of players who were born abroad, just like me, who are representing Nigeria. So let me try my luck and see if he works. But if Germany had called on him, he wouldn't have even been talking about Nigeria. So players who want to come, it should be genuine, not seeing Nigeria as a plan B. If it didn't work out for playing for so and so country, then fall back on Nigeria. So it has to be players who have the desire and passion to actually represent the Super Eagles.
Of course, at this point, Rodiger has actually reached an informal agreement with Real Madrid at this point in time. With Chelsea will be allowing Rudiger to actually leave the Stamford Bridge and get to don the color of Real Madrid, looking at his current form and performance for the Blues at this point in time, Charlie Food.
It's very blessing because Real Madrid, whatever anyway, is a dream team for any player that wanted to play for Real Madrid. At the same time, Celtic is not small team, and I think doing very well. But whether the Celtics are going to allow him or not, it also depends on the players. Because at the same time, I don't want if we should say where club wanted to give players against their wish.
They start playing.
So it's
not in line with
it's never over well, and people should love to try to learn from it. If a player shows interest and genuinely is sure he's committed, is interested to live, allow him live. Collect your money. No matter how good a player, there's always a better another player for him. But if I look at Tottenham, when these guys will go to Man City, they allow him. Are they proud of everything that the case is doing at the moment? There's just a series of example. If a player has shown interest in what
I want to be
allow him to go.
Of course, let's see how it pans out. The transfer window is just a few weeks away, and we hope to see a whole lot of players in and out from different clubs right there in Europe. But still talking about the European football, we just head straight to the European League results of matches that went down yesterday. We saw West Ham losing at home to Dynamo Zagreb. Pardon about that. We saw Leicester City they lost away to Napoli in that particular one. They lost 3-2. That result also we see that Leicester City out over the Europa League. Marcel and Lokomotiv Moscow, Victor Moses had lost away to Marcel. Lazio, Galatasaray played 0-0 draw. These are, as you can see on your screen, those are the fixtures that really went down yesterday. Also, quickly, time is up, but quickly let's go to the fixtures that we have in the English Premiership this weekend. It will actually not start with Brentford versus Watford, Man City versus Wolves. Arsenal will seek to return back to winning ways when they host the Southampton. Chelsea will play Leeds United. Liverpool against Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard will be facing his former side, not as a player but as a coach of Aston Villa at this point in time. Norwich versus Manchester United. This will be the first match of the new boss at Old Trafford. Brighton versus Tottenham, Burnley versus West Ham, Leicester City versus Newcastle, while Crystal Palace versus Everton will be the last match for the EPL this weekend. Quickly, guys, which match do you think is the most watching? For me, I would say it is the match between Liverpool and Aston Villa.
Definitely Liverpool Aston Villa. People, I would like to see how the Liverpool fans and the Liverpool to welcome to the stadium.
Of course,
not as a guest, not as a player, but as an opponent who is coming to come against them. So definitely it's going to be an interesting encounter.
Alpha.
I think in addition to that, I think the Palace Everton will be one to look out for. Same for even the Chelsea Leeds. I think that's a tricky one.
Of course, it's a tricky one.
It's a very tricky one. Sure. Then I think Leicester Newcastle will want to keep an eye on. Then of course, we'll see how Burnley will be able to. Always difficult to break down. We'll see how they line up against the West Ham side, who really staking a claim to end up in the top four.
Yeah, they lost yesterday.
So interesting one. Then of course, City Wolves. We all know what Wolves.
That was very
then. Still,
Santos,
but still, they still have that team. Every now and then they have the capabilities to bring up surprises every now and then. So that will be also one to keep an eye on. Of course, Arsenal, Southampton, that should be an easy one for Arsenal. I don't think Southampton have.
Don't say
that
this point in time.
It should be. It should be
unpredictable at this point in time.
It should be, but of course, we all know how the Premier League is. Anybody can spring up a surprise, but interesting matches to look out for this weekend.
Of course, interesting matches to actually look forward this weekend. Where will your money be at this point in time? Will you be on Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, or Manchester United? Wait and see how that gets out to pounds out. But this is where we apply the breaks for Sports Orbit on today's edition. It has been nice, talking sports with Sally Foodsman. also Alpha Acho, director in the studio. Of course, we'll make a return bigger and better next week on Monday by God's willing. Thank you, our viewers, for staying with us. We'll make a return next week and make sure that you also make a return with us. But for now, I'm saying to have a lovely weekend ahead of you. Bye bye for now and God bless.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.